Hi, my name is Tim and I'm Thermoforming Tech founder. This is a video tour for new customers who just created their account and they're on the platform for the first time. And I want to give a little bit of context in the beginning and then show you what you can do exactly with our platform. So I'll start with a very short story. I was representing a variety of equipment suppliers and I was in charge of a huge market, and I was meeting customers every time at the trade show or during the meetings. They ask, okay, but how these parameters relate to our project economy, or at least our production model, the output. Nothing is clear. And I believe you've faced these situations when you don't have the clear connection between equipment parameters and the parameters which you would like to know. And in our opinion, the most important parameter is called throughput. For thermoforming business, the throughput is added value per one machine hour. So in this video, we will be explaining, if you're for the first time on the platform, what should you focus on and what can you do. Let's get started. One thing before we discuss everything. It will be quite a long video. I think it will be around 25 minutes. And for sure, if you're just browsing and you found this video on YouTube or you just entered and you don't have much time, it will be quite tricky to watch through all the 25 minutes. So I will give you a short overview. In first 13 minutes, we will discuss the price calculation, how the price and project economy in thermoforming is working, and how our software is making these calculations and how you can use it. And the second half of the video is about layout projects and how to use that part of the software to calculate the layout, to calculate how many cavities on machine you get, how to compare these machines and everything about that. So, yeah, it's a long video, but in a way it's like a virtual onboarding video, which will help you to get the idea of the software, how you can use it, and what are the basic things you should know before you start working with this application. I have a plan for this video, but I don't have the script, so sometimes it will be more like a flow of the mind. But this is something which you see in the beginning. So you have created your account, you have some buttons here, we will discuss them later a little bit. Here you have projects, and what you should start is there's buttons on the left side. The layouts help to calculate your output and estimate which machine is better for you, or if the project worth of going there, or how big should be machine for your project. And this calculate your button calculates with the project economy. Then we have user profile and contact us buttons, which you will have on your basic account. So while the first button is the layout projects, I would like to start with the price calculations, because it's not that hard to calculate the layout, but the project economy is something what you are really looking for. So let's go there, and I have a variety of different calculations, so we can use one. Let's choose just some project so I can try to explain you what exactly you can do. Okay, we have here 12 up mold. Yep, here above you have the parameters. You can import the layout calculations, or you can put here all the parameters manually. And every time you get to the layout calculator or price calculator, here's a video guide which will give you more details and more context, what you should put and what you will get. So let's say that we will be analyzing now a meat tray mold for polypropylene for 12 cavities, which will run at 20 cycles per minute. This is the layout efficiency and additional waste norm, which you will always have because you have to change the rolls, you have to heat up the machine, and then you have some bad products. So this is the weight of the tray, it's like 15 grams. And we want to produce 6.5 million here. All the parameters you can edit and modify here. So we have three different calculation bases, and they are three different scenarios. For example, let's say that you know the product price and you want to calculate your project economy based on this product price. Let's say that this tray can be sold at 0.7 euro, and yeah, 7 euro cents is the price of the tray. And we have price for the granula for the resin if you produce your own sheet, or price for the sheet if you buy it, and then you sell the skillet waste. The system makes two types of calculation. One is when you buy the sheet and you sell the waste, and the second one is when you have your extrusion in-house, and there are two different prices for this. So what we see now, when we set up the price, here we see the price of the tray, and immediately we get a calculation for the price per kilogram. Then we have added value per kilogram, and we see that in this case it's 2.3 euro and 3.1 euro. And then we have the added value per hour, 500 and 683 euros. Yeah, these are just random parameters. We don't care much about them. The hours for target volume is a new parameter which we want to add here. It is not working properly, but don't pay attention to that. Let's focus on the project economy right now. So it means that this project will bring us 455,000 euros, which for sure is not realistic, I think, and we need to decrease our price. So yeah, below you can see here our totally variable costs and our operating expenses, which we can add to the system, but we will do this later. So in the last rows, we can see the price per product to cover our totally variable costs. And this moment, it's only the material. So we can see that the price is 3.5 cents or 2.2 cents if you have your own extrusion. So let's say that our price of the product is 3.5 cents. And we can see that immediately the system makes the calculation. And if we buy the sheet and we sell the waste, we are in negative numbers. It doesn't make any sense to go with that price. If we would have our extrusion, still we would have some money. And let's try to investigate a little bit deeper. And this is what we call the spiral approach to the price calculation. So you don't even, in the first step, you don't even care about the machine itself. You want to calculate how much of material is used, what's the price of the material, what's the price of the product, what's the added value based only on the material. If you see that it's around 0, it means this market has margin, which equals to 0, and it may be not a good project even to think about. But if you have some nice number there, then you go a little bit deeper. And as a second stage of our spiral, we check the pricing to the material itself. And with this price, doesn't make any sense to proceed with the project based on the concept that we buy our sheet and we sell our waste. Still, our own extrusion makes sense, and we have nice amount of added value here above our material costs. As the second stage in our spiral, we add some electricity parameters. It means that you have already chosen a machine, or you have this machine, or maybe you are thinking about choosing this machine. So yeah, you have some parameters, and your equipment supplier can tell you. You'll need to specify the price per kilowatt. Let's say it's 0.4 euro. And then you need to give some information about machine consumption, like machine with a grinder with a chiller. Okay, let's say it's 80 kilowatts per hour. Then we will have to grind our material if we use our own extrusion. And the grinder will consume another 20 kilowatts. And at every hour, it will give us 200 of grinded material. Grinded skillet waste. Then we need our extruder, and let's say it consumes 200 kilowatts and the output is 800 kilograms per hour. So now the system has calculated also the electricity costs, and as you can see, from 80,000 something we are dropping down to 55,000, which is still quite okay. It's more than 20%, or it's around 20%. But for sure, you will never get in the reality this amount of money, because you will have also, but the third spiral step is your sales variable costs, because you have to pack it, you have to put a carton box, you have to put a sleeve there, then you have to deliver it to the customer. And everybody know that if you bring to your factory, for example, 20 tons of sheet in one truck, when you will be sending a truck with the final product, it will weigh like 5, 6, maybe 7 tons maximum. So let's add 0.1 euro, 10 cents for every kilogram of product for delivery of our products for packaging and maybe some agent's commission. So we have now 46,000, which is still looking very nice, but we don't have our salary, our rent, and other costs, which for sure will be there, but you cannot estimate them and you cannot modify them based on your output volume. So we call them operating expenses. And let's say you have 15,000 euros of operating expense monthly. And as you can see now, after all the expenses are here, with the price which we have calculated it's 3.5 cents, our project generates added value of 31,000, which is slightly above 10%, which is a very nice markup, and it seems like the project really makes sense. And there are two other ways how you can calculate the project economy in our system. you can calculate based on the desired amount of added value per kilogram. Let's say that for every kilogram of your product, you want to have €1 above all the costs which you have. And we have the price here. In this case, the price of the tray is 4.5 cents. And if you want to run without extruder and if you want to buy sheet, it will be 5.4 cents. For sure, if we have two offers on the market and this is a big difference, it's clear that with the own extrusion you will get the order, and it will be very hard to get the order with this price. So yeah, now we see these hours, target volume hours appeared, and it tells us that to produce those amount of trays we will need 450 hours on our machine. This calculation is based on the layout, and we can check it later. So in this case, the system tells us that our income will be 294,000, and the margin above the costs which we have will be 97,000. But if you go without extruder, to get this amount of margin, you have to sell those products for 350,000 euros. Yeah, this is clear. This scenario is not for us. We don't need it and we don't want that. So this is like the second way how to use the price calculator. And there is a third way, which is based on throughput, on added value per machine hour, because sooner or later it will always be about machine capacity, and machines are quite expensive, as you know, so you will have to spend your time thinking which project is the most interesting one. So let's say you want to generate every machine hour at least €100 above your costs which you have in 1 hour. And then the system recalculates the price and give you the price. So yeah, this is the price, 37 cents or 3.7 cents and 4.6 cents. Price per kilogram, added value per kilogram, and added value per machine hour. Yep, this is clear. And this is what we get. This is the prices which we have. So you can save each of them, or you can save the one which you need. And to do that, you press generate PDF. Let's call it like video tour. And we generate the PDF file. It opens in the second tab. All you have to do is to save it. And after you save it, you can discuss it with your partners. You can discuss with the stakeholders of your project. And it makes pretty easy and clear the search of thermoforming machine and discussion if the project is worth investing or not, if it is a good market for you or not. And even with all of my explanations, as you can see, we spent not that much amount of time on this calculator. And every time you save a project, you have this tab, video tour. So if I go back to price calculator, it will appear here. Yeah, I have to go through the projects because I didn't create a new one, but this is our video tour, so we can get back there at any moment. The second part of our software is the layout project. And this is actually the software which allows you to make an estimation on how many cavities you can place on the mold, what will be the efficiency, how much time you will need for the production, for how much material you will need for the production. You can usually get this information from your machine supplier or mold maker, but you have to provide all the information about your product, and you have to wait a couple of days. And if you have multiple projects, I don't know, like 5-10 different products you want to calculate, then you maybe have to wait a week or two. And imagine a situation when you are comparing 3 or 4 machines. So you have to send the request to 4 guys, to 4 companies, 4 suppliers, and wait till all of them will send you the information. So a simple thing of estimating a project for the variety of products you want to produce might end up in 2-3 weeks waiting time, and this is what Thermoforming Tech eliminates completely for your business. So when we are here, again, we have the video guide, and the video guide here is a little bit different. It gives more explanation in details. So we will not go as detailed as we did with the price calculation. So we go here. Yeah, I need to name the project. We call it tour layout. And then we can make some description here. We can add a product image. Then we have a variety of machines, and not all machines are on the public list. And if your machine is not there, we can add it. Or you can find, for the preliminary calculation, you can choose a random machine. For example, let's say that we will take machine with 800 millimeters by 580 forming area. This is quite a standard machine. Then you set up if it is a form cut stack, it means it forms in one station and cuts in another station, or in mold cut. Let's say we will go for form cut stack now. Then we have to set up these dies if they're steel rule dies or CNC machine dies for your product. Then you choose the material and you choose the shape of the product. Let's make a hinged container now, for example. Yeah, For the hinge container, we'll have to specify the thickness. Let's say we will run 800 microns, and in polypropylene 800 microns, this product will weigh around 15 grams if it is 100 by 100 with a 0 radius. But let's make something different. Let's make it like 150 by 140. So it's almost rectangular, but not exactly. And you will never have a sharp corner of 90 degrees. No. Let's put like at least 15 radius to this tray. Yeah, you see we have cut out the radiuses on sides. And now we also have to specify if it's a hinge container, it means there is a live hinge between the two parts of the tray. So we need to specify the dimensions for this hinge. Let's say it will be like 7 millimeters. And it will be here like, I don't know, 100 millimeters. So this is our live hinge. And maybe it's too big. Let's make 75. I don't know. But you can play with these parameters. And what I can do now, I can just press the automate max cavities. And the system tells me, okay, this tray can be done with 5 cavities on this mold. You cannot fit more than this. So I turn off the auto cavities and I try to add a row. And as you can see, yeah, I couldn't do more. But for example, if it is not a hinge but horizontal, and I need to switch these now. And again, press max cavities. Yep, now I can put 6 of them. So you can play with this by the automation, or you can do it yourself and you can play with this exactly like you like. Just keep in mind if it's a hinge container that this type of layout across the material direction may be not that good for stacking because you have a lid and container and they might fall. But sometimes it can work and it's better to discuss with your mold maker. So then as a next step you have the checking, and here's like the max mold size, we are in the limit. Max forming area, we are also okay, and max allowed linear knives. For universal machines we don't have it. For some machines in our database we have them, for some we don't. But at least now you know that your linear knife length will be 6.1 meters, so you can get confirmation later. But the layout would end up here. Yeah, we have all the parameters, but we want to go a little bit beyond, and we can set up the speed, let's say 25 cycles per minute. Oh, no, it's I think too much. It's polypropylene 800 microns. No, let's be realistic. 20 cycles per minute maximum, in the best case, maybe even less. And let's set up the waste norm, which will be decreasing our efficiency 3% for now. Yeah, this is something which can be discussed if you want, and you can book a demo to discuss these parameters more deeply. So how many parts we need to produce? Let's say I want to make 5 million trays. Did I make 5 million? Yeah. And look what happens now. I need to specify how many machine hours do I have, and I have 550 hours, and system tells me, yep, sorry, but you make 7,200 parts per hour, and you will need 700 hours for this. So either you have to find a bigger machine, or you have to decrease the amount of products you need, or you have to increase the speed. For example, let's go to something bigger. Yeah, I know we have like GN915, which is huge, and we have Impact TS1000, and we have KMD90 Keyfel. Yeah, if we go to KMD90, yeah, look, we can place 10 cavities, but let's reverse it like this. Yeah, let's better place 10 cavities so it's easier to stack the products. So with 10 cavities on the mold, the same speed, as you can see now, 12,000 parts per hour and 400 hours, and we still have 130. Now let's check for other machines. I don't know, Impact TS1000. Wow, we can put even 12 here. On GN915, yeah, we can also put 10. So, what does that mean for all of us? It means that our layout allows you to estimate how much material you will need per 1 hour, and what will be the weight of the product, what will be the waste, how much material you will need for the entire volume that you want to produce. And as you can see here, yeah, we are going to make 66 tons of product, and we will need 222.5 tons of material, and this is the skeleton waste. And material width is calculated, the stroke is calculated, layout efficiency is calculated, the weight of the product is here. So I generate a PDF now. Yeah, we call it tour layout. And again, I can save it, I can send it to my mold maker, I can send it to my machine supplier for confirmation. And this is exactly what and why we have created this software. Instead of sending photos of your product with some ideas and maybe some parameters which might be not even measured correctly, you do it yourself. You create the layouts for multiple products. Look, I think overall it's like less than 15, around 15 minutes is the video. Yeah, I believe like 17 minutes now. So we have already calculated the project economy, and we have calculated the layout for this product. Without explanation, me and my team, we can make a layout and price calculation in about 3-5 minutes to 3-4 machines. So imagine if you have 10 products in front of you and you want to make an estimation for 3-4-5 machines, instead of sending them and waiting for 2-3 weeks from your suppliers, what exactly you do? You make all the layouts by yourself, you make the price calculations, and those layouts which provide the project economy which is okay for you, you send them to confirmation. And to get a confirmation from this layout, where you have the number of cavities, you have the product dimensions, you have the material parameters, you have the output and speed and everything, you can imagine it will take maybe 1-2 days only from your supplier. So you just press the save button, you save it, and you send it to him. And now let's get back to the price calculator. What I will do now, I will press the import button, my layout projects, I will find the last one, tour layout. And it is here, all the mold parameters which are required. So we only have to specify the granular price, the sheet price, and waste price to make the first tour of our spiral, and then add electricity, other sales costs, and operating expenses. I would like to stop here with the videos about the software and discuss a little bit, last thing, your user profile. When you create your account, the information which you have entered, it's already here. So what you have to do now, you have to specify your company ID. If you're a company, if you're a physical person, then you don't care. You can put their company address, VAT. You need to specify if you are in Europe or outside, if you're a VAT payer or not. And then you put your address here. Why do you need to put this information? Because of the invoices, and based on the information which you put here, when you make the purchase, the system will generate an invoice for you. So here also you can set up language. At this moment the English, and now we're trying to add some more languages. It will take some time. You can set up the currency, and we have almost all of them. So you can choose your domestic currency and make the calculation in Algerian dinar, or in Serbia, or Saudi riyals, or US dollars. It's up to you. Also, one of the things we're going to implement quite soon is the measurement system. Now we only work with the metric system, but I think in a couple of weeks or maybe a month, we will add imperial system. Inches and pounds will be there. So once you specify, you save this, and you can proceed. So finally, one more thing here, you see there is a question mark, and this question mark gives an access to the help panel, and this help panel also includes some video guides, information, tours, and explanations. And we are adding this database of information, and you can find answers there. If that information is not enough for you, and if you need more details, and if you want to go a little bit deeper, here's a contact us button. So just send us a message, we will receive it, and we will contact you. We can schedule a meeting, and we can make an onboarding tour with you, where we will help you to calculate your projects, discuss the parameters more deeply, and it will help you to use the software and to benefit from it. What I can tell you for sure, it can save at least 1 month in your project, because you don't need to wait anymore for the answers of your suppliers. Sometimes these answers are coming with the mistakes, you have to redo them, you have to recalculate, and yep, it is never final, and these calculations are preliminary. But even the calculations which you get in the beginning, before you send the samples to the customer, before you discuss modifications, they are still preliminary, and you just don't spend that time. You make the calculations, you find the proper machine, you specify the products, you clarify the price, and then you send the layouts to your machine suppliers, mold makers, and you get confirmation in a day or two instead of 2-3 weeks of waiting and discussing. And I want to end this video here, and I want to invite you to the video call, because if you have come to our platform by yourself, you have created an account, and even if you watched this video, for sure you have questions, because this software and the thermoforming business itself and thermoforming calculations is not a rocket science, but still it's quite complicated. And we have created this project to help you to pass through the project planning stage. And we have other solutions for you. Maybe if you're still thinking if it's worth going or not, we can discuss our short track for thermoforming projects. And if you are already in the project and you are waiting for equipment, trust me, there will be a huge amount of communication and you will be losing information there. And it is very hard to keep focus if you have 5 guys in your team and 3-4 suppliers and they're all discussing things through emails. It's very hard to get the clarity about the project and to see what's going on there. So we have also a solution there. Thank you for your time and let's stay in touch.